I would just like to point out that if a fox and a bunny had a baby, it would be a funny. Sorry, that actually is Jason's. That's Jason's, but he's not here, so I get it.
Ginny, you're the queen because she comes in bunny ears without us asking. She'll come in half in costume.
It's a different theme every day.
No, it's pretty.
And by the way, when you enter the animation building, like the parking lot, Yvette, Byron, and Jared, they're always waiting for you, like right in the lobby. It's as if like they're afraid that you're going to turn around and leave or something. But no, but they're so kind and so generous. They're always there. They greet you at the front of the door, and they walk you into the recording booth. And when you're done, they walk you out. And it's like, that's the most Asian thing to do. It's like, but it's just like, it's amazing. And they're just so humble and generous. And I love them so much.
We love it. We are like, oh, it's record day. We're going to, I love to sit down there and listen to you all do what you do and play and kind of create and take these lines and these words to places that we didn't expect. I mean, we've all read the script. We know what's going to be recorded, but when you all come in and bring, the actors come in and they bring such life to it and such a different idea of it, it is one of my favorite days there.
Because I've really almost exclusively done animation for Disney because I am a spoiled brat. But I get the feeling based on the reactions I get from people who work with other studios that it's different. But like when we go into the booth, it truly is like being like the kid in me that wanted to be an actress in the first place, like gets her play, like I get my sandbox again. So I go in and it's, look, if the scene starts going sideways, like go with it and we'll follow you. Like if you get the giggles and it's emotional, like find the funny and we'll explore that. If something's like supposed to be funny, but it's really like plumbing the depths of something for you, like we'll plumb with you, we'll go with you, we'll rewrite to like follow whatever this journey is. Like I've never heard of this happening in any other acting context, right? I mean, definitely can't work in live action. But they truly bring us in and we'll do the same scenes over and over again and whatever happens. And the animators are there drawing us sometimes like on the day.
And somebody once asked me, what's the difference between doing animation, voiceover work versus live action? And I would say, here's the difference. Voiceover is, God, I sound horrible. Live action is, God, I sound awful and I look horrible. As an actor, when you do voiceover work, we only bring half of the performance. And it's really, the animators that bring the other half. They give our characters facial expressions, body movement, like you said, how does a snake hug? Scales. So I kind of feel like, when we talk about, movie making is a collaborative process, animation is more so than anything. We had a big premiere in China, and it's one of the biggest movies there, but I've noticed there's so many youngsters, teenagers and people who are going through a hard time, and they really identify with this character, but more so that one specific line from the movie, which is, the responsibility of the world should not fall on one's shoulder, because Gary doesn't have any shoulders. But it's like they, just seeing the comments from them saying that, I feel a little bit lighter after watching this movie. I feel a little bit, less stressful. That is an incredible feeling to have. And I'm just so lucky to be along for this ride, for this second one.
We feel very lucky that we get to work with such amazing people. I never thought I would be able to be here. So anyway, very lucky.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
It's all great.
First scene when Gary asked Judy Hopps permission to hug, and I thought that was such a beautiful scene. And then one day I just woke up and I said, wouldn't it be great if at the end of the movie there's a callback to that moment? And I kind of wrote out a scene. I texted Jared and I said, hey, I have an idea for this. I don't know if you you like it. And he says, it's great. And then it ended up being in the movie. But I honestly, Byron and Yvette are really kind to give us credits, but I think really the credit belongs to our over 700 animators who worked so hard on this movie. I just don't think actors love taking credit. I do too. But in this case, I would love to give it to our animators because they really did one heck of a job.
And one of the nice things, I love that story with that Ke tells, because it's so true. Like, so many of the ideas that are great in these films don't come from Jared or me, and you know, it is really a team sport. And the fact that these guys, I think, just define the characters. Like, there's no one else who could have played Gary. There's no one else who could have played Judy. They're both our first choices. We had 71 speaking roles in this movie. That's the most of any Disney film ever.
Yeah.
Almost, I think, almost.
Oh.
It's like we needed something for Judy, especially, to really lock into and care about, because she's driven by her heart. She's such a smart character, but that you won't care about the plot at all unless there's something emotional at the core. And so Gary became this wonderful, heartfelt fuel for the movie. And it's like, and then like, I think before we had Ke, it was very different. And then it suddenly started to swirl around Ke's character, and then this idea of differences, and then looking at the differences between Nick and Judy, which became a real strong anchor point for us. Like, one of the first scenes that Jared wrote, which I think my favorite scene from the whole film, is when Ginny and Jason, as Nick and Hopps, are up on top of the ice wall at the end of this big confession where they just spill their guts about how they feel. And he wrote that so early, maybe like in draft 1.
Yeah,
and he was always like, is it too long? Is it too long? He's like, no, just leave it. And it was like, it was word for word almost what he wrote. And the fact that kept reminding us that the movie, with all the eye candy and the craziness and the puns and the colors and stuff, it really needs to be about Nick and Judy and about these differences. And then Gary is such a great echo of that. And it's also how fast you talk was crazy, but I was able to make the boards very specific. And then when our animators got it, if you're an animator and you get a scene like that, that is like Christmas and your birthday all mixed into one. It's the best feeling to get something that significant and that nuanced. And our animators are really the best in the world. They're world class, especially when they get something like that really, this movie revolves around that scene. It's so simple, but it's so beautiful. And that's why there's so much speculation out there if you guys are going to get together as Bunny
Would you
and
like
Fox.
to address the rumors? The lead Judy animator. And I asked him, I was too scared to talk to him on the first movie, because I feel like they're like in the corner, like casting actual spells, like they're performing actual magic, like they're doing the actual art stuff. And so Jared Bush actually gave me the courage this time. I was like, I want to know what he's doing. Like, he's watching me, he's drawing while I'm working, and I have questions. He was like, you're not disturbing him, go ask your questions. Anyway, through conversation with him, I learned that one of the things that they're doing is studying, like, you know, how we hold our mouths, how we touch our faces, how we throw our hands around, because they are so specific. Like, those things are so very specific to each individual person. And those things also, by the way, affect like the sounds that we're making. And there is this magical thing, you know how like they don't know how a lot of drugs actually work, right? Like, they know the effect that they have, but they don't know the actual path that they're taking through our bodies. I feel like somehow that's like, the animators do this thing where they are able to create this magic, and we're not quite sure. They know, like, we need to take these steps, and it's gonna like cast this spell, and it's gonna like bring these characters to life. And like, for some reason, like, it shouldn't be a math equation, but it works. Like, something happens where, and I know this is not exactly what you're asking.
No, but this is even better.
Okay, good. Where like they're capturing something with what they do that's creating life. And there's something about that I categorically see when I watch numbers 1 and 2, where I'm like, I know that I just saw a flash of my face, and I know that makes no sense because it is drawn and I'm suddenly a rabbit. But they brought something to life that's like tangible, that we can't explain. And for some reason, when they're doing that whole hocus pocus magic thing, like, they're able to like actually get through and touch us in like these storytelling ways that's like, I don't know. I don't think we can do it with live action.
A great example of how incredible our animators are. That beautiful sequence with the 4 main, characters, Judy Hopps, Nick Weil, Nibbles, and Gary at the end of the sequence where Gary visits his ancestors' village for the very first time. That is a very long sequence that has 0 contributions from us voice actors. And because there was no dialogue. But yet that entire sequence, you watch it, you understand what's going on, and you feel the emotions that Gary himself is going through, and it's just a beautiful sequence, and that is, to me, that is like, you know, the incredible work that they put in, is how can you make me have so much emotions with zero dialogue? It's just that sequence and this beautiful music from our composer Michael Giacchino, and I think that sequence says it all.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.